Hi guys, continuing on with our series with Alan Lowe, founder of Duddell's, an outstanding Chinese restaurant in Hong Kong. Why are we doing this right now? Well, for the month of October, Duddell's and the Armoury are doing a cross promotion. So if you come and dine at Duddell's, you may find an interesting offer waiting for you at the Armoury and vice versa. Check it out. The description is in the video's description text. Let's talk about some more dishes. So,
yes.
If you don't mind, sir.
I thought we try to showcase kind of different cooking methods in Cantonese cuisine. So our next dish is fresh crab claw, steamed with egg white and a Hua Diao wine reduction. So Hua Diao is a very, very kind of traditional classic yellow wine, Chinese yellow wine.
And a good icebreaker too.
Yes. Very old school recipe. If you eat around town, with different chefs, private kitchens, restaurants, even in some private homes, you're most certain going to see this classic dish. Should we try it?
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah.
This is normally like a dish you share. It's like one per person.
Normally one each person gets one.
So well, thanks for sharing yours with me. It's a big claw though.
This is pretty big.
Yeah. It's amazing. And then it's egg on the side too.
Yeah.
Wow. And you mentioned like the stock in this is very important, isn't it?
I think the stock, the superior soup, they call it sarong tong, is kind of almost like a primer in Cantonese food. So every chef will have their own recipe of sarong tong, and basically you cook it with chicken, with Yunnan ham, with dried scallops, and a bunch of other beautiful ingredients. And basically, according to different dishes, you would use the stock in kind of different consistency. So, for example, if you do a soup, or you would probably use a more kind of a thicker, stronger, kind of more concentrated version of it. And whereas if you use it for some other dishes, like you sarong tong, make a vegetable or something, you would use a kind of a less concentrated version.
So would this be considered like thick or thin?
This is pretty thick, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It also tends to go with like the more expensive, the more luxurious the dish.
Oh yeah.
The more concentrated the sarong tong is.
I see. And the stock is like a proprietary thing, right? It's like the secret of the chef.
In a way, because it's as I say, it's a primer. So it almost like sets the tone for the entire dish.
It's so good, man. I'm ending this video right now, so I need. And you mentioned this is like an iconic dish for most Cantonese restaurants. Like most Cantonese restaurants will have some sort of take on this, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, actually funny enough, some of the best chefs, the older generation chefs, came from banks and also private homes, well-to-do families, obviously.
Right.
Banks, because they were always entertaining clients. So actually, a few restaurants, a few kind of renowned Chinese restaurants in town, you kind of see this. There's kind of this group of chefs or the proteges who kind of have a certain background, coming from a certain bank dining room.
Oh no way! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very Hong Kong thing too.
It is a very Hong Kong thing. So when you're lucky enough to be, a client at the bank, and you get invited to the executive dining room for a meal. I mean, we're talking about back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh.
It's really a treat because you get to taste really like super old school, authentic, top quality Cantonese food.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the crab, because the crab is kind of like it's a special crab, a specific crab for this dish too, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean obviously this is the yok hai, which is if you want the thickness and kind of go for size, that's what you usually go for. Another variation of this is the flower crab fa hai, which has kind of a slightly longer, slimmer profile, with a different color shell, which is more popular in the Qiuzhou kind of sub-segment of Cantonese cuisine. So I mean, it really depends on I guess availability and time of the year. I mean, that's the beauty of seafood. You never know what you end up getting.
It's great, amazing. All right, so just for the viewers, can you share again the name of the dish in English and Cantonese?
呢個係蛋白花雕蒸蟹鉗. It's fresh crab claw, steamed with egg white and Hua Diao wine.
Thanks very much for sharing.
Thank you.